So the mission of these engaging sisters who were interested in Papa became my priority. And having successfully dismissed Sister Joy and Sister Miracle, I continued with the others. I had gone to them personally with different techniques of letting them know that Papa was unavailable. I had lied to them, and I had casual talks with them about Papa being engaged to a certain lady called Latina K. Sometimes I gave them false prophecies, and I was very good at that job because it worked. They believed everything. I mean, none of them suspected anything so far. Because of this, my conversations with Papa were lifeless. I was always looking out for new predators and always thinking about the next moves, and trust me, it was exhausting. So days after I was almost through with the mission I took upon myself, I was at the fellowship center with Papa, and it was just the both of us. It was awfully quiet, so he could tell that there was something on my mind. So he asked me about it, and at first I didn't hear what he asked. So when he shook me to get my attention, I snapped at him, and he was like, Sister Timmy, are you okay? And instead of answering him, I started crying. Now, I was crying because truly I was exhausted. I couldn't believe how wicked I had turned in just a few days. You know, it's true about the saying, every form of wickedness starts with innocence. So I was still crying when I heard Papa ask me, are you finding it hard to make up your mind? If you're not sure about what you want, you can still tell Brother Kennedy to give you some time. Now, the processing of what Papa had just asked me came in stages, because I remember asking myself mentally 3 questions. Number 1, make up my mind about what? Number 2, why was Brother Kennedy mentioned? And finally, why should I be given time? I mean, it was just so confusing. I asked Papa what he was talking about. That was when Papa knew that he had made a mistake, and he was like, you mean that Brother Kennedy is here to speak to you about it? He asked, laughing foolishly, because at that point it made no sense to me. Already my heart was pounding so fast. I now tried picturing this Brother Kennedy again. The Brother Kennedy I knew was a disaster of a brother. If Wahala were to be a person, it would be him, because he was always arguing at Bible study classes, making it last longer than it was supposed to be. Even after Bible study, he would argue all the way to the hostel, and he was always stressed as a big-sized granddaddy, and he was still living in the 1930s when the rest of us were far in the future. He was always preaching about holiness and hell, and I just kept wondering the connection between my light and his darkness. That's my new life in Christ and his old life in Christ. It became so frustrating to even think about. So I just asked Papa what Brother Kennedy had said that had got to do with me, and Papa replied that Brother Kennedy had asked him for his blessing to take me out. I was like, are you sure Brother Kennedy asked for me, Sister Timmy? I was like, yeah, it was you he asked for. I was like, okay, so what did you say? So Papa said that I told him that he should ask himself now that I'm not your father. And I said, okay, fine. So what am I meant to say to him? I asked Papa this, hoping to get an answer that would melt my heart. And Papa was like, it's the question that actually pierced me. He was like, you mean at this point you still don't know God's will for you in marriage, Sister Timmy? And just as I was about to answer him, hoping that, okay, this was going to be a moment of revelation. That was when, out of nowhere, this baggy wearing, mood spoiling Brother Kennedy walked in, shining his scattered temptation at me. It was so annoying.